Jack, you have been outspoken that obviously we're a Christian nation founded on Christian principles, even Christian dogma, though not every founder was probably a true believer. But you have really reacted to the suggestion that Barack Obama suggests that we are not a Christian nation. You gave many illustrations. I saw your message online where you give many illustrations of why the early founders stood up for all the godly principles that they did. I had Robert Jeffress here online, recording him a couple of weeks ago, and he said in his lifetime that, if not in his lifetime, for sure his successor's lifetime, things that being said in the pulpit are going to be restricted. You feel that as well?
I do, and that's why I'm getting them out now, to be very honest with you. I'm always under the specter, I believe, of how much time do I have to say these things. That's why I'm very serious about it, and I want to be very accurate about it. And I was referring to the now famous Cairo speech, which, by the way, a lot of people don't realize, but if they go back and not take my word for it, go back and do now a very recent history review. It was Barack Obama's Cairo speech that gave birth to, and there have been Middle Easterns make comments regarding this truth, that his Cairo speech gave birth to what has become known as the Arab Spring. Right. And it continues to this day. A lot of people think that the spring died out. If you read various magazines, they think it died out. It has not died out. It is now shifted, and it will continue to shift from phase to phase. And if people have taken the time to just look at Islam advancing throughout its inception, it's textbook predictable what some of the next things are on the horizons, because it's the mode of Islam's operation, exactly as things are going in the Middle East. And we see right now at the time of this phone call where this establishment through Issa, the attempt to have a caliphate from Syria heading down across over to Jordan and heading south towards Saudi Arabia, they hope. These things are all the fruit of the Arab Spring, which was birthed out of the permission granted by our president in Cairo when he gave that speech.
I said back on June 4th, that was 2009, I said that perilous times went absolutely into overdrive as he spoke in Cairo that day. He did not invite, if anybody remembers, he did not invite Hosni Mubarak. He did have the Muslim Brotherhood in the front row.
That's right.
And that was a signal, and of course he pandered to them and said, again, America's done so many things wrong, and we're sorry about that. And you are absolutely right, Jack. That was the signal for the Arab Spring, and look at the carnage that has happened, particularly to Christians in the region. And of course now this ISIS, and we can talk a little bit more about that before the program is over. Now they're threatening to nuke Israel.
That Cairo speech, he said, we are now considered one of the Muslim countries. I mean, it's amazing what came out in that speech. And of course, we here in America only got the sanitized few sound bites. But, you know, it was a Muslim Brotherhood operative that helped him to write, that literally put the words together for that speech. No wonder they were the only ones invited and Mubarak was left out.
Absolutely correct.
Jack, anything on the deception issue you want to ramp up? We've got a couple minutes left in this segment.
Well, just quickly this. Now, I want to be very careful. I understand that what I could say here could be, somebody could counter and say, well, it's just your perspective. Well, of course it's my perspective. It is this, though. I've been a Christian for 37 years, and there's always been an element of deception, but I've got to tell you that in my observation of just watching things here, not only nationally, but in Southern California, beyond, in the globe, there not only seems to be a heightened intensity and onslaught of deception, but what I'm shocked about is how people are starting to becoming very apparent that people are loving a lie. People are loving the idea of just tell me what I want to hear. I want it to be true. I want it to be real. And that has really blown me away. In this age, you think this technological age where everything's available at our fingertips by the internet or whatever, you could find out the truth about something if you searched it. People don't want to know. They just want to feel good. Don't bother me. Give me enough religion. Give me enough materialism. Give me enough of a happy thought or feeling. Give me a Disneyland view of things and leave me alone. I have never seen it at a level or scale where people willfully, it appears, they want to be in the dark regarding these eternal issues.